So the Capital Markets Summit 2024, which is you know organized by the Dubai Financial Market, this is the second year that this occurs, but this year it is occurring in a completely different scale. It's a great event to bring everybody together: market practitioners, investors, issuers, and of course government stakeholders. Great initiative on the part of DFM to do this. And as we can already see, a great success so far. Yeah, sure. So financial markets and capital markets in the region, I think the most meaningful change we've experienced in the last 4 years is actually the emergence of the IPO. Privatizations and private companies, as in family-owned businesses today, are bringing stories and IPOs to market at a pace never ever seen in the history of the Middle East. So we're huge supporters of that drive. We're huge believers of the equity stories that come to market. And whether that's kind of successes at the DFM or across the GCC, this is going to propel more international investors and more regional investors focusing on these stories. IPOs in this part of the world have also performed extremely well. The various IPO classes of 21, 22, 23 are more than 40, 50, 60% up on their initial price. And that has actually fueled more growth and more international investors zooming in on the region. Yeah, absolutely. So I think we've had about 3 so far. We've had Al Ansari, we've had Talim, and now we've had Spinneys. I always start with there has to be either a desire to raise secondary proceeds or primary proceeds. Secondary going to the shareholders, primary going to the company. And so if there has to be that desire that then propels the IPO. Today, what you have is that the IPO markets are functioning, they work, investors understand the region. We will have more family-owned businesses come to market in the medium term. Now, the government has done its part, and the private family offices and family groups will do theirs. I think you already have a lot of foreign investors focusing on the region. I think it's more of the same. It's more differentiated stories, maybe from other sectors. We've had a lot from the infrastructure, hydrocarbon, utility space already. But I think as we roll forward the next 1, 2, 3, 4 years, we'll see a more varied dispersion of sectors. That will by definition bring more investor attention. I think investors are already focusing very hard. In our kind of global conferences in London and New York, we are inundated by the number of investors that want to make inbound trips into the region and also set up offices in the region and seek introductions to private groups and to IPO candidates through ourselves in the region. So that's already happening. The UAE is already in a very strong place. That's a good point. We did have Presight and Bayanat list in the Abu Dhabi market last year. But I get your point. The broader base of tech-enabled and fintech businesses, they will come. I think the path needs to first be paved by, the other sector groups. I think we've had that. And I think I mentioned it in my panel that we will see in the medium term more tech and tech-enabled businesses that are getting to that break-even profitability journey, tap the IPO markets.